Hey everyone, so for our final activity together, we're just basically going to do a code along. We're 3%, where we'll code the weather app from start to finish using vueCLI and some other features. These are the version numbers that I'm working with. And the first thing we want to do is view create and then give it a name. So I'm going to say view create weather app. So that will create a folder here and scaffold everything I need. So for now, we're going to select the manual select features because I want to choose this one right here, progressive web app. So I'm pressing spacebar to select it, and that's it. Press enter. Please choose the version. I will choose 2, although version 3 is coming out with some cool new features that you should check out on your own time. For this one, let's choose ESLint and prettier. Lint on save, sure. Let's pick one of these and save this as a preset. No. All right. So as that's going along, we have to decide what our weather app should look like. So let's go to images.google and say weather app and see what looks cool but simple. And I vote for this one right here. This one we're going to use as our model for how it should look. As you can see, it has different cities, so we'll have different cities as well. So the second question is, where are we going to get the data from? So as this is going on, I Googled free GraphQL APIs, and I came across this GitHub list of free endpoints that use GraphQL. And at the very bottom of that is this weather API. So when I tried it, I said, yes, we can work with something like this. You can see here, I already put in Berry units metric, which is Celsius. Just give me the name, the weather, and all that. And there it is. Cool. So we're going to use this as our endpoint for GraphQL. Oh, I just finish. If you get this, just say yes. All right. So the next thing we need to do is, if you'll notice, we are not in the directory, so we have to get into the weather app directory or folder, and then we're going to add something called vuetify. So let me just add the command first, then I'll explain. View add vuetify. And so if I Google, oh, hold on, what's this? There are uncommunicated. Still proceed? Yes, go ahead. Still proceed. All right, so vuetify. Let me go to their website to explain what it is. Basically, think of it as like your CSS Bootstrap, but specifically for Vue. So vuetify is just like, you know, your basic components that you can choose all the different buttons and all of that, cards, for example. And if you like a certain look of that card, you can check it out how they did it, that kind of thing. So here, for example, is a card. You can see their code sample here by clicking on view source, and then you can copy their stuff. Now notice they use a lot of their V dash things. Do not confuse these V dashes with the regular Vue V dashes, or what they call directives. So all of these are custom to vuetify only, not to Vue itself. Okay, let's see where we are at now. Oh, if you get this one, just say default recommended and enter. All right. So I'm going to pause the video and come back when this is done. And now I'm back. So let's see what this looks like. So just make sure we're in the right directory. Yeah, we're in the right directory. So we can say yarn serve. Now, because we added the vuetify, the default web page that you'll see in a sec will look slightly different. So let's check it out. And actually, I should pull the source code here. So here's the source code. And you can already tell here's like the v-app-bar, you know, all these v-images. So this is all coming from vuetify. This is not the essential Vue directives. This is just, so think of it again like your Bootstrap. Although you're not limited to Bootstrap, you can use any kind of CSS framework you want with Vue. All right, so we got this page here. Perfect. So let's inspect, and let's change our look or view to look more like an app on a phone kind of thing. Okay, so our goal is to make it look like this, right? So I wonder if there are any UI components like a carousel kind of thing. That's the first thing I'm looking for. Carousel. Ah, look at that. Perfect. So I want this. I want this. So let's look at their view source, or maybe we can look at their code pen. Well, let's try the view source first. So they have a vueCarousel model. So if I just take all of that code and replace it with our code, so let's get rid of the hello world here. Now, as soon as I take away the hello world, it's going to complain down below that. What's the error? It says hello world component has been registered but not used. So we registered it here, and so we need to take away the reference. So let's delete line 43, delete line 48, so it doesn't complain anymore. And then let's paste in our stuff right here in the v-main tags. Now the question in my mind is, do I need the v-main tags? I don't know. We'll just try it out. So let's stick that there, and let's see. Okay, I think it's kind of working. I think I'm missing something though, and I think that's because if we go to the code pen example that they have, what am I missing? CSS? No, what am I missing? Here. So they have in the data the model and the colors. So let's just copy that. Oh, they have a vuetify as well, although I'm not sure if I need that since it's already working. So let's go to our data here, paste that in, see what that does. That's the code pen example. Here's our example. Perfect. Does this work? Ooh, nice. Okay. I want it to like extend all the way to the bottom. Now, FYI, I already experimented with the look, and it took me like a while to figure this out. So I'll just save some time and say, all right, height equals 100 VH, and vmain. Just say VH for now. See what it looks like. So there, it looks like that. Now, notice here there's some stuff here that I initially don't see because of this top part. So what I'd like to change this to look like a transparent menu similar to this card example. Oh, hold on, where's the cards? Similar to this card example I saw right there. So I want this to be overlaid on top. So if I grab their vapp bar code, which I think, so you could tell that this is it, right? So let's just grab the vapp bar and see what happens. Now, this vapp bar only has flat and color as attributes, whereas the default one here has color, dark, and app. This one, I'm not sure if I need that or not. I'm going to leave that in when I copy and paste, and I'll just type app in and just see what that does. So let's see. What am I doing? I want to take away the vapp bar that's already there. There. Gone. Paste, but change or add app in there. Save that. All right. What does that look like? Okay, I think it's up there. But you know what? I'd like for this just to move up. And again, after some experimentation, I decided to go with this. Margin top minus 57 pixels. And there it is. Now what I should do is maybe I should add a style tag here at the bottom and then put all these inline things that I just did in that style tag, but you could do that. The next thing we're going to add is GraphQL. So if we look at and Google view GraphQL Apollo, you'll come across this page here, View Apollo. Integrate GraphQL in your Vue.js apps. So let's get started. Go to installation, and all you have to do is say view add Apollo, and this will essentially it's a plugin. So all this does is everything that's listed in this manual installation. So it imports Apollo client, it adds that all of these files, changes all the files that you need, imports things that you need, and it does all of that for you. So let's go ahead and add that in. And at the end of the day, there's two ways you can use Apollo. So here under basic usage, here you'll have a new section called Apollo where you can make basic queries that look like this. Right, there's your query right there. So that is one way to do it. The other way is through Apollo components, which is very similar to the video that you just watched. So you can use one of those two ways. We're going to use the basic usage today for queries. So let's go ahead and Control-C out of here so that we can use the console and say view add Apollo. Enter. Yes. I'll pause the video. At this point, add example code. We're going to say no, just enter. Add a GraphQL API server. No, because we have that REST or that endpoint that uses GraphQL for the weather. Configure Apollo engine. I'm not sure, but I think the default is no, so I'll just say no. And I'll pause the video again. And I'm back. So now that process is done, you'll see some added files here. For example, this view-apollo.js, which we'll modify, as well as some other things, like this apollo.config. But right now, what we're going to do is we're going to tell Vue the endpoint that we're going to work with. So right now, by default, it uses this, but we're going to change that to our weather GraphQL. So let's copy that URL address and paste it here. Also, if you scroll down, there's a WebSocket endpoint. Let's just delete this and just say null, where it says here use null to disable. Otherwise we'll get errors, and that is it.